Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? All right, let's stream. I haven't streamed in a while, and I'm excited. I'm very excited, actually. I rushed upstairs this evening after dinner and after I put my kids to bed to live stream because I miss it. I miss it a lot. I miss making games, like making my own projects. I've been doing YouTube content for so long. I've been doing my online course, Full-Time Game Dev, a lot. I've been working on that. And I just want to get busy on my next project. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay. Let me see something here really quick. I need to make sure that you guys can wishlist the game. I believe. Yeah, okay. I just got the Steam page up for Father. So if you guys want to wishlist it, go right ahead. I'm going to put it in the link in the description. So let's see if we can do that. Wishlist Father. Boop. There it is. I think that's good. Let's see if it's actually live. Yeah, it's live. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's here. Wishlist Father. I need to put it on the YouTube video as well. Okay. Sorry, I should have done this before I started. There it is. Bloop. So go ahead, guys, and wishlist Father. Okay, let's get started here. Let's take a look at the chat, see how everybody's doing today. Where is the chat? There it is. Sweet, yeah. Everybody feel free to wishlist right now. That would mean a lot. The plan is, or not okay, sign. Fingers crossed. The plan is to live stream this thing from start to finish, and you guys can wishlist it as I do it. All right, let's open this up. All right. Oh yeah, thank you, David. David says nice cozy setup. That means a lot. Thank you. I've been really working on it, making my office a little bit cozier than it used to be. So, I need to post his channel in the chat actually. So a guy named AJ is making the game. I'm gonna do that for the next stream. I forgot to do that. I'm just gonna get started. His name is AJ, and he is actually working on the core of the game. So that leaves me, and you guys have heard me talk about this in my videos, that leaves me talking, or it leaves me able to work on what I'm good at, and that is just the look and feel of the game. So we're going 3D this time around, fellas. Okay, so today I'm going to start by just hitting play here. And we're going to explore our beautiful little world here. AJ has done a great job putting together this beautiful movement system here. Let's scale it up just a tad so we can see how everything's looking. So we are in Edenfell, and this is the start of the college campus for this strange college. AJ not only did he do the first-person controller, but he also did the boxes that we could throw here. So he's still working on everything, but so far, pretty sweet. I really like the system he's put together. And there's Edenfell. That's the signage to get to the college campus. So college campus is going to be up there, guys. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a maze. I'll worry about the game design later. Right now, we're just going to create the map, and going to be really chill here. And I'll do a big breakdown of everything as I upload content to YouTube about the game. But so far, it's just a very retro feel game, very pixelated. I love this feeling. I grew up on these kind of games, so it's just hard for me not to make a game like this. These are all grass details. So the pine trees, the grass, all of it is just the terrain tool. So I'm actually really pleased with how it's looking so far. So let's just go ahead and I want to create a big field somewhere up here. Let's see if we can find a spot for it. Probably over here, actually. It's going to be a big field, maybe with some houses and some enemies to attack. And maybe it'll be inside the center of it will be a big sort of maybe a cave system or something. So let's just have some fun. How's everybody doing in the chat, guys? Sweet. There we go. Sweet, yeah, it looks like Doom is... Doom, some people feel like it looks like Doom. That's good. Very good. Oh no, this wasn't done in an evening, although I appreciate it, Edom Games. This was done over last week. And you know, the startup production of this was just really intense. Like, it took a long time to figure out exactly how I wanted it to look. Okay, so let's go ahead and create... I don't want people to feel lost, so I'm actually going to create a back alley this way. So field over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the trees. I'm going to turn on some music. I'm getting bored already. You guys can play whatever you want. I'm going to be listening to some lo-fi. If you guys want to listen to some lo-fi too, go ahead and turn on some lo-fi and we can enjoy it together. I'm going to do funk fiction, aquatic ambience. That's what I'm listening to right now. So let's erase some of these trees. And, you know, we just erased some grass, but that's okay. So let's just go ahead and clean up those trees here. And I'm going to go ahead and punch down the terrain using set height. I believe we're going to set the height to... Let's see here. I think it's 185. Let's take a look. Is that it? I need to write these numbers down. Yeah, it looks like it's 185 is our value here. So I'm going to just punch it. To give it that retro feel, guys, what I'm going to do is use this brush here, make the opacity very intense, 100%, and I'm just going to draw a nice little, how about right here? And it's going to take us to this field right here, okay? So first off, let's double check here, make sure this looks good. Sweet. So far, so good. And we're going to punch down. Actually, you know what I want to do? You know, it's okay, actually. I think I'm okay. Now let's do is it 200? Or, no. We can keep it 185. And we're just going to scale up the brush size. And we're going to do a big circle. I like things to look really... there we go. Really clean, all right? So first off, before I get all detailed here, I'm just going to make sure it looks good. It's important when you're doing your level design, guys, to create some distinguishing features, especially when you create a maze-like game like this that's inspired by Half-Life and games like Resident Evil, where there's just sort of a maze, a labyrinth of terrain. So you want to make sure that you create some distinguishing features. Maybe we could put like a windmill here or something like that. Okay, so let's do this. There we go. Can everybody hear everything okay and see everything okay? Whoops, looks like I erased some very important trees here, so let's go ahead and paint those in. There we go. Paint some trees here. And, okay. So let's go ahead and hit play here. I'm actually going to move my... Well, actually, let's hit play here. I was going to move my character controller, but I actually want to see how it feels as I approach it. So, looks good so far. What about over here? Looks good. All right, let's run over here. Alrighty, guys. Whoa. Okay, look. So now we have this... See how it just looks totally different now? It's just great. I love the terrain tool. I love how jagged everything looks with the terrain tool, the way it's done that. So that's cool. Let's see how this field looks. Yeah, so we're gonna have a big field here, maybe a lake, something. I don't know. I think a big sort of Hyrule field is gonna be over here. Maybe a village of some kind. I'm just sort of flying by the seat of my pants here. The reason why, guys, is I spent so much time trying to get everything perfect last time I was making a 3D game, and I'm ready to just get stuff done. So I'm just gonna go for it and just feel it out, especially starting out. I've got AJ working on the core, so I don't really need to worry about the core of the game. And he's going to do a great job on that, so I don't need to worry. And again, I'm going to put a link to AJ's channel in my next live stream. I forgot to do it for this one. But he is just a brilliant 18-year-old developer in Australia. And he is putting together some incredible stuff. And I can't wait to show it to you guys. Looks like the only issue here is this right here. So what I'm going to do is actually, let's set the height to 200, I believe. No, it needs to be, well, how about 190? Yeah. Okay, so that's a little too big here. And then I'm going to set it here. Actually, no. 200 is good. And do it like this. Good, okay. We're just going to set it right here for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch that again to 185. Just where I messed up here. There we go. Okay. I'm fine with that. Maybe we can just smooth it a little bit. There we go. Not too much because we don't want to be able to climb up. So let's do the opacity, drop it down, and do the size. Usually I like it to be perfect, but sometimes I have to do fixes like this. This is fine here. We'll make it look more like a cliff face. And guys, it's flat currently, but after we're done painting everything, we'll start raising it up. How's everybody doing in the chat? Yes, Simon, I am paying AJ. Yes. Yeah, I think the music is going to be somewhere along the lines between my previous games. To answer your question for A Token Beast, the music is probably going to be somewhere along the lines of, obviously, my previous games. I'll be writing the music. But also, I'm going to take inspiration from the Castlevania 64 series. Don't ask me why. Well, go ahead, ask me why. The reason why is because I love that game. I know it's garbage. I know it's a garbage game, but I just have so much nostalgia for it. And so, guys, I'm going to make a game that I want to make. I'm not going to worry too much about profitability for this one. So I'm just going to have fun. So let's go ahead and place some trees. Good thing about placing trees like this in Unity, guys, is they disappear and they're culled out of the view. So you can place as many as you want. Have fun. So let's place some trees here. Good. All right. And just keep going around here. Just enough to make it look like there's a big tree line, you know? All right, let's go ahead and paint some texture. So the textures are actually from a Unity asset pack. And I converted all of the PNGs. There was hundreds of PNGs that I downloaded. I converted them all to PSDs using a script inside of Photoshop. Quickly converted them to a PSD. So now I could double click on them and tweak the coloring and how they look in Photoshop and then jump back into Unity. So right now we're going to actually, let's see here. We're going to paint some dirt right now. So as you can see, dirt sort of runs like this here. Yep. But I like to do a lower opacity. I wish you could do a perfectly solid painting of the without faded edges. And I know you can using Microsplat, but I'm okay with just, I really don't want to use a lot of coded assets for this game. The reason why is because I'm thinking about the porting process. And I really want the porting process to be as painless as possible. Let's see here. How does it work? Okay, so there's a little bit of grass. No. So I'm just going to do dirt all the way down like this. And then I'm going to do a big, huge thing of dirt here. So big brush, solid here. Let's go down to 450. No. 250 maybe? No, this is probably not going to stay up on the channel solo. There's the dirt, so we're just painting in dirt, guys. Okay, so now we got some pretty dirt. Let's go ahead. Thank you, Zaza Joe, for the super chat. Thank you. That means a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on in to our scene over here, or our little portion of the level over here. And who knows, maybe this will be a locked section of the level. Guys, all of these will be gated, all right? Look how cool this looks over here. It's a little higher, so that's cool. I'm going to make it look more like a cliff with some texturing and maybe throw in some rocks. So far, so good. This will be cliff face here. And, yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, so this is going to be a major area. This will be a major main area. So I'm cool with it being this big. Hello, Alec. How are you, buddy? Welcome. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Anything that's vertical, we're going to change to the solid rock cliff face. Okay? By the way, guys, if you haven't wishlisted, click the link below, Wishlist Father. All right, so let's go ahead and paint. And we're going to do a light brush here. There we go. Why is my computer getting slow? What's going on? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint around the edges here. Guys, the terrain tool is so powerful with Unity. And by the way, for those of you who are curious and maybe are wondering, Thomas, what's easier to make, a 3D game or a 2D game? Because this is really it's like my second 3D game, even though I never finished the first one I was working on. But this is my second attempt. I gotta say, making 3D games is way, way easier than making, got hair in my mouth, than making a 2D game. It's way easier. It's easier to be artistically cohesive. Let's turn off the lighting. Yeah, that's okay. Much faster now. So we're just gonna paint. This music sucks. You guys can't hear it, but it sucks. I'm going to listen to Architects. If you guys want to listen to Architects with me, feel free to throw on Architects. I'm listening to the All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us playlist or album. If you want to go ahead and listen, that's totally fine. How are we doing in the chat? Yeah, 3D art is a lot easier, I found. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely agree to disagree, Scaramingle, because it depends on what kind of 2D game you're making, for sure. I'm super obsessive about artistic cohesion. I know that sounds pretentious, but what I mean is just things looking like they belong. And you can get away with it a lot better with 3D. And also, there's a lot more value in 3D games. I can create maybe 3 levels with this map here, with this map editor. So maybe 3 maps that are this big, and finalize them and finish them out in about a month, maybe 2 months. And I've already got like a 2-hour game, especially if it's like a first-person shooter. So I'm going to throw this rock in here. So now we have this beautiful cliff face. I like to double-check everything, so let's keep double-checking, jumping into the game, hitting play, and just sort of getting a revelation of how everything looks. And then once we get the general feel down for the path, guys, it's really important to make sure your paths really guide the player where they should be going. So I need to actually dig into the ground here and create a path. Currently this is fine, but we could probably pump the ground down a little bit to make it look like the path is in the ground. But as for the cliff face and the dirt, everything looks great. I love how it feels like an N64 game. It's got the PlayStation vibe too, but I think it looks a lot like like Turok, or like Castlevania 64. So I really like the way this looks. Okay, so I'm not going to worry too much about the cliff faces at this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the paths are so important. So I'm going to go ahead and pump down the paths here. Oops, let's add some. Yep, there we go. Oh, I forgot something. So and I've created rules for myself, guys. So one of the rules is anytime there's a cliff face, you just throw some moss on the top of the cliff face. For those of you who have played my games, Neversong and Pinstripe, you know that in my games, when there's like a precipice, I always throw in like moss on the edges. I don't know why, but I just love the way it looks. Let's do a little bit smaller brush size so we can really get the edges here. There we go. Oh, come on, Tom. There we go. Whoa! It's sometimes when you're getting really close to these edges here. There we go. And notice how it looks like complete BS, guys, when there's no lighting and effects. The effects make it just look at this, watch. No lighting, no effects. Now watch. Lighting, effects, and this includes fog and skybox and bloom. Look at that! Isn't that awesome? So it's just so cool to see it come to life just with the right effects. Guys, you don't have to create like super pristine models to make your game. It's totally fine to just rely on the tools that Unity already has and maybe some low poly models. That's totally fine. Okay, let's clean up that cliff face here. Yep. And hopefully once I'm done with this, guys, with this moss here, you're going to see... you're going to see... Hector, are you hanging out in the chat, buddy? I just got a text from my personal assistant and the community manager for the YouTube channel. He's like, are you live? Because I'm not usually live. So if Hector's in the chat, let me know, Hector. I love Hector. He's a good friend. Okay. That actually is a lot easier to draw it that way. Okay, oh my goodness, we got a lot left. Okay, we're going to see if we can speed this up. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, that's a lot better. I'm all about efficiency this time around in creating games. Oh, excuse me. Because there's no reason, guys. I've pretty much figured this out. Unless you're like Edmund McMillan or Jonathan Blow, just get your game done. Don't take the risk of being a perfectionist when in reality you don't really know why or what to be a perfectionist about. The older you get, the longer you're in the game industry, the more you figure out, oh, these are the things I should be a perfectionist about. These are the things I should not be a perfectionist about. You just sort of figure it out slowly, and I'm still figuring it out. Okay, so let's just, there we go. Maybe throw in some moss over here. But Thomas, the textures are really stretched. I don't care. See, that's the thing, guys. I don't care. I think it adds charm, honestly. I really don't care. I was thinking about part of what makes this game, what's going to make this first-person shooter really fun is just getting in glitches. I think glitches and physics bugs are just part of making these part of what makes these old-school games so fun. So I'm totally fine with things sometimes being buggy and sometimes being funny and weird and glitchy. Okay, so we've got some moss on these edges, not a ton. That looks great. I love how that looks. Okay, so yeah, the moss just added a little bit of life. See that? Yeah. All right, I'm down. Okay, here's the best part. Get ready. This is going to be so much fun. How we doing in the chat? All right. Oh, my coffee's cold. Yeah, you're right, Stig. Stig says, Thomas, be careful bending your neck so much far forward when you're working. I totally agree. I need to be careful there. All right, we've got our grass here, guys. Watch this. Here's why I love doing circles. Because it's so easy to just fill it in. So dirt around the edge. And then we're going to do 250 here. Nope. How about 190? Thank you, George. Thank you. George says, my hard drive took a dump a couple weeks ago and had to start my course project all over. But I don't mind. Any plans for a 3D course? George, I got a surprise for you, buddy. We got a big update coming, and I can't wait to share it with you. George is talking about my online course, Full-Time Game Dev. By the way, guys, you can get 25% off Learn everything you need to learn about creating a 2D game from scratch and also getting it published, taking your demo and getting 6 figures from a publisher or Kickstarter. Obviously, I can't promise anything, but hey, I'm going to give you everything that I learned. Okay, so there's our grass. Maybe let's not do it so intense, but use the promo code if you want, if you guys want to join over 1,000 of my students. It's hard to believe, over 1,000 students on the Discord server, and learn game development and learn how to go full time. At least learn what I did. I can't promise anything, but I can only tell you what I did to get where I'm at now. Okay, so there is our grass. That looks pretty cool. Hey, and let's go ahead and just bring in some cool texture here using this brush. And just sort of add some texture. That's a little too opaque. Oh, Architects. Is anybody else listening to Architects with me right now? It is so good. I love this band. Saad says he is taking the course. Awesome. Thank you for taking the course, Saad. That really means a lot. You're helping keep this studio alive. You're helping me pay my bills. And that means the world to me. So thank you. Ethan says Architects is awesome. That's awesome, Ethan. I'm glad you enjoy it. Wait, I don't want grass there. Thomas, you are an idiot. Can we say Thomas is an idiot in the chat? Please. Thomas is an idiot. I don't want grass. Follow the rules, guys. The thing about doing terrain is you need to just follow rules and set those rules for yourself. Thomas is a legend. Yeah, right. I'm a fraud. And you know what? I'm okay with saying that. We're all frauds. We're all frauds. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and I'm going to paint in some of my grass, okay? It's a detail, though. So here is our detail. And I'm going to paint it on there. See that? Look. Isn't that cool? All right? So obviously I had to create all these brushes and create all these textures. A lot of them were downloaded. Some of them weren't downloaded. Others were flipped. That's just the nature of making 3D games, unless you're a ridiculous purist, to which I applaud you, but I still think you're ridiculous. So let's paint in some grass here. This is going to look beautiful when you guys see it. You're going to be like, whoa! It's just so cool when all the fog and all the lighting is done. I just love how it looks. All right, so there's our grass. Let's throw in some weeds. Maybe some weeds here. Wait, I just painted weeds. Shoot. Here, let's remove some of the grass here. Hey, and guys, you want to do a path through it? What if this was a freaking cemetery? Let's make it a cemetery. You guys ready? Let's do it. Let's make this a cemetery. All right, let's first paint some grass. Actually, no. Let's do our pathway. With some dirt here. All right. There we go. So this is going to be our path. And why don't we just have the path do this and sort of come to the center. And maybe we can have a big, like a big old monument or something right there. Wouldn't that be cool? Drop down the opacity. Can you give us some info about your PC setup? This is from Arash. Arash, I do not use a PC. I use Mac because I'm a moron. I told you guys, let me know in the chat how much of a moron you think I am. I would love to hear it because I believe it. Thomas is just being humble. No, he's not. Guys, trust me. Thomas is being humble. He's so humble. No, I am not smart. I just figured out how to do stuff because I was resilient and I believed in myself. Okay, so we have this cool looking path. What do you guys think about this path here? Let's add some patchiness here. No, these live streams were not going to be available afterwards. I don't want to flood my channel. So if you're not here, you're not here, and then you can just get used to it. Thomas, that is so rude. Well, I can't keep trying to make everybody happy. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop. So what I'm going to do is just drop this down by 1 unit. See that? You can barely see it. If you go to shaded wireframe, you can see it a little bit better. Just a little bit better. So that's dropped down. So that's going to be a monument of some kind. Let's do 8. No, 1. We're going to do 1. And by the way, guys, I'm using a much lower res pixel or a mesh for the terrain. Okay? So let's just draw all the way through here. You'll see it when we hit play mode, what I'm doing here. You're going to definitely see how this looks. So all my paths connect. I want the player to feel like they're on this winding maze, but you want them to feel lost, but you want them to go, oh, I remember that, or oh, I remember that. So you got to add distinguishing features. Maybe we'll put it, like I said, a big windmill here or something. That would be kind of cool, right? All right, let's paint some texture here. You can see I made a mistake here. That's totally fine. Okay, so the brush size is going to be somewhere around 19. Sorry, I was headbanging to Architects, and that just didn't work out. But that's okay. Okay, so let's hit play. All right, here we go. Oh, I just love how this looks, guys. I'm going to maximize on play so you guys can really get a feel of how it is. All right. If you were listening to Architects with me right now, guys, you would understand what just happened. Okay, so, yeah, the path, we could probably work this out a little bit better. Yeah. So there's a path here. Good, 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 good. Things are really slowing down. I think it's just because I'm live streaming. I'm going to make this path a little bit thicker so it's not so effing dumb looking. So here's what we're going to do. Slings head forward, destroys keyboard. That's right. All right. We're going to lower our terrain. Oh, Thomas. I use set height a lot more than actually raising and lower terrain. I only raise and lower terrain towards the end of a level's design or a section's design. I'll show you what we're going to do. This is going to be so cool, guys, because right now it looks really flat, right? But in like maybe 15 minutes, you're going to be like, whoa, because I'm going to raise this up and have it like just this crazy elevated looking section for this level. And some of you are wondering, well, why don't you just do that right away? Well, because I want to lock the player in like classic N64 games, they would lock the player in with these kind of paths that were carved into the land. Well, Thomas, why don't you just create an interior game and not an exterior game? Because I'm budget conscious right now, guys. And I want to make sure that I'm using all the tools available inside of Unity that make it as quick and fast as possible to make a game, okay? Okay, good. There we go. Yep, just like Ocarina of Time. Exactly. That's totally right. Okay, I need to go ahead and move my character controller. We'll eventually have spawn zones. So right now, though, I'm going to just move my character controller. Where are you, you mother effer? Let's see here. Okay, he's right here. There's my character controller. All right. Hello. Oh, it looks great. This isn't me being cocky, guys. This is me going, thank you, Lord, for the assets you've provided on the Unity Assets Store. Thank you, Lord, for the bloom effect. Thank you, Lord, for color correction. Thank you, Lord, for fog. Okay, so look, we've got a pretty decent path. That kind of looks like junk. That one here. But this one's good. I like that one. That's not bad. And let's see how these look. Good. Okay, so far so good. Let's clean up that path, and then we're gonna go ahead and start adding a ton of greenery and stuff like that. Okay, and grass. Once you see the grass, you're like, okay, this is just next level. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set the height, smooth it out just a little bit more here. Yeah, that path was just a little difficult. Yeah, just right about here is where things get challenging. And we'll smooth this out here as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint the texture to be just complete dirt there. Because that was... Did you guys notice how that was just a little bit confusing right there? It's like, wait, what's going on? It's just those subtle things that make a huge difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and paint the grass. And I'm going to go ahead and just, this is how I'm going to paint the grass. I'm going to do this. Big brush size here. And we're going to paint grass first. Big old brush. You can't see it because it's culling out of the distance, or out of the frame, because that's the way I've set it. But that's okay. So now we have our grass here. Good. We're going to hold shift and clean up some of this here. Maybe put some more right there. Okay. And then this little hole right here, we're going to paint away and then go a little bit smaller and clear out this path here. Just like that. And you guys will be amazed. Like, seriously, it's not me saying I'm good. It's me saying just Unity is just so much fun. I love their terrain tool. I just have a blast. It's so much fun. I think we've got a little bit too intense strength here. You think so, guys? Maybe not. I think we're okay. Perhaps it's this shaded wireframe that's slowing things down so much. And it's also because I'm live streaming that it's so slow. Okay, let's throw in some weeds. Watch this, guys. This is so much fun, okay? So we bring down the target strength, the opacity a little bit, and we put in some weeds. And a rule that I've got is anytime you see weeds, you throw in flowers as well, okay? So we're going to do some weeds here, and watch these pops of color. This is going to be so much fun. And always keep in mind the color scheme of your level, guys. So in this case, the color scheme is like a really muted, ugly puke yellow and green with pops of vibrant boop, 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 red. See that? Ding, ding, ding. Bloop, 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 bloop. See? Okay, drop down the target strength, drop down the opacity, and we're just gonna add a little bit of fading here. Okay? Very good, Thomas. Wow, good job. Thank you. So let's hit play. See you later, Skirmington Flop, or Skirmingle Flop. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. All right. So we have this beautiful field here with grass. Oh, I love it. We're slow. It's pretty slow right now. I think it's because it's probably the draw distance, to be honest. But I honestly think it'll be okay. I really... Let's change it to 720 by 480. Or, what is it? There it is, yeah. And I'm going to scale this up. Because, hey, it's a retro game anyway. So this is fine for now. Obviously, it's way too pixelated, but this is the idea. By the way, guys, when you shrink down the resolution, things speed up because the computer is not processing as many pixels. So this looks great. Now the question is, Thomas, it looks so flat. What are we going to do about it? Well, let's go ahead and raise up the terrain, okay? So first off, I know I want it to feel like a hill, okay? Like a big hill. So here's what we're going to do. Activate the inspector, and we're going to raise the terrain. We're not going to set the height. We're going to raise it. Okay? 1280 by 720, that's right. Jeb? Something's making weird noises in my office. I can't... Is it my dog? It's like... Y'all ready? Here we go. 125 is going to be our size. Let's go a little bit bigger. 145. Oh, it was you, the bug? Okay. What is that? Oh, it's a drill. It's spaghetti. It's spaghetti. Oh, man. Good reference, Dusty. All right, here we go. Guys. If you haven't wishlisted the game, go ahead and wishlist Father right now using the link in the description, and you'll get notified of the massive launch discount when it comes out. Okay, so we're gonna raise up this terrain. You raise me up. That's great. Shrink down, and we're gonna make it look kind of like a volcano here. So just, whoa, Thomas. We're gonna do 95. There we go. And just pump it down. Okay, how's that? Oh, yeah, I like it. That looks great. Let's just pump this down a little bit too. There we go. That one too. And then we're gonna hit play here and take a look at everything. All right. I love it. Obviously the pixelation is unbelievable right now, but you guys understand why I'm doing it, hopefully. So look at this, guys. It's starting to look like more realistic. Let's go to 1920 by 1080 so we can really get a feel for it. Whoa. There we go. So that path needs to be a little bit more solidified. That's a little too low right there for my taste. Okay, it's a little too low. So let's actually, you know what? Let's just do a big, nice smoothing. Okay, we're just gonna smooth it out. So let's go to Activate Inspector, Smooth Height. Oh, I love Denmark, Nate. Good night. It's really late in Denmark, buddy. We're gonna smooth the height here. We're gonna do pretty intense opacity here. There we go. We're gonna smooth it out. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah. A lot of times it just has to do with how it feels moving through the world. Don't ever fall for the excuse of, well, this is how the real world works. No, this isn't the real world. This is a video game. So, and I'm talking to myself here, you've got to make it work for a video game. So right now there's too much dirt, okay? So I'm gonna make it green. I'm gonna add a little bit more grass. Yeah. Honestly, that whole concept of the path is kind of ruining the whole vibe I was going for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first paint some texture, just some grass. There we go. And we'll try and fix the vibe in just a second. So let's throw in some grass here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think it was a little too thick. Yeah, there we go. And then let's throw in some weeds. No, I like my patches to be pretty distinct. So maybe a weed patch right here. Guys, and again, I wanted this to be a cemetery, so we want it to feel like a cemetery. So I'm cool with just grass. All right, let's throw in some of this here. There we go, and maybe one here. No, that's breaking the rules. Okay, let's try that. Let's hit save, hit play. Good night, Brett. All right.
Let's travel through the canyon to Hyrule Field.
Thomas, I missed the super chat. Let's take a look. Which one? Okay, from GW. Thomas, you are a moron. Okay, that was the super chat. Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep making my game now. No, GW said, Thomas, you're a moron. Jokes, you're top quality, bud. You and your Game Dev Unlocked inspired me to save all my money so I can go full-time for a year to finish my game. Awesome podcast, you two done together. That's awesome, GW. I will give you some advice. Do a prototype, okay? Please just do a prototype. Send it to your audience. Send it to publishers and make sure you've got a good game, okay? And get feedback. Guys, this looks so much better. This looks so much better. Remember, guys, becoming a game developer is a big risk. So you need to be as vigilant as possible about what you are doing, okay? Understand that it could very well not turn out. And so what I like to do is send my work to publishers ASAP. Why? Not necessarily to get published, but to say, okay, if I get 3 responses out of 200 emails sent, that means that my game is obviously quality to them and they think that it's going to make money. Okay? So it's important to get feedback like that. But that's awesome, GW. I would just say, just be wise. Be wise. It's a rough career. Okay, this looks great. I mean, wow. Let's go ahead and make this a foresty field. So what I'm going to do is I think what I've got are, well, first off, we've got a big problem here. Things are starting to slow down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump into my spruces here, and I'm going to make sure that I add a LOD group to this, and I'm going to create a, we're going to remove the 2 LODs here, and we're just going to cull it out, okay? So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete LOD 1, and we're going to cull it at a certain point here. I want to preview the cull. Stop, I did not open up Visual Studio. Stop. What are you doing? Why is this? Does anybody know why this isn't previewing the cull? Why is it not previewing the cull? Does anybody know? Yeah, for all of you watching, guys, back to my original point while I wait for you to respond here and help me figure out what's going on here. Guys, being an indie game developer is a big deal. It's a big risk, okay? It's not just some dream and you just follow the dream and yay, yay, let's go. It's a big deal. And so you need to make sure that if you decide to go full-time, I always go full-time with a big savings account. I'm talking 60 grand, all right? $60,000 in savings, and also experience, and I understand what I'm doing. So make sure you know what you're doing, and also you test out if your game is valid. That's why I'm a big fan of prototypes. You got to drop in the renderer so it knows what to turn off. Well, then what do I put in there? What if I don't want anything? What if I don't want anything? Well, that's effing dumb. I got to add a mesh to it? I don't want a mesh. Let's just do a cube. All right? We're just going to do an effing cube. It's kind of annoying. I don't want it to be anything. Called equals... What is it? Yeah, I mean, I could do a cube. I just don't want to do a cube. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. So I see what you're saying. So you're saying I add in the spruce here, and then when it culls, it's still not culling. Why is it not culling out? Drag the tree in the hierarchy into the big add button. I'm doing that. It didn't do it. Look. It's still not... Oh, it did. There it goes. Okay. All right, so basically if I was chilling about right here, let's take a look at our fog settings, because the fog is really going to determine you know, what we can cull out. So I'm cool with it culling at about right here. So like that. Yeah. See that, guys? So it's going to pop in and then cull out. Yep. So maybe a little bit better. See what I'm doing here, guys? Hopefully that makes sense. All right. It's working. It's working. All right, we've got that working for us. And now I want to do the same thing with other items that I'm adding a ton to my scene. I'm a big fan of just throwing big boulders everywhere. I love boulders. So guys, let's throw in an LOD group here and then delete these 2. Does this make sense to you guys? And we're going to use the same rule. There we go. Bloop. Okay, we're going to use the same rule. This one is actually going to be culling out a little bit further away because I want to be able to... Well, it doesn't matter actually because it's based on the fog. So if we go to our tree here, look at that, guys. Oh, I just freaking love that. So, uh-oh. Our tree color's changed. We got to go back. So let's go back and do our diffuse PSD. There we go. And then also this one as well. It reverted to the blue color, and we don't want that. Okay, so this is why you use prefabs, guys. This is why you use prefabs. Now, look at this, guys. This is what's rendering most of the time. You know, other than like in a certain location. So if I'm in this location, this is all that's rendering. But if I go all the way over here, nothing renders, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Those are fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save here and hit play. There's no volumetric fog. We're not using volumetric fog. Volumetric fog, in my opinion, will kill performance on Nintendo Switch, and I'll be honest, that is my target platform. All right, so where did my effing trees go? My trees are gone. Wait, no, they're not. Oh, they're over there. I need to add some over here. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and take some of these trees here. We're going to select them in... Yep, there we go. And all you got to do, guys, is just drag them in. I'm going to drag in about 7, maybe. And then we'll resize them and rotate them and all that. So we've got some cool looking spruces here. So what I'm going to do is just drag them down. I'm not going to shrink them. I'm just going to drag them down. And some of them I'm going to drag up. No, nope, we can't drag them up. How about let's shrink just a few of them. What I like to do is shrink down and then scale up. Make it look a little bit taller. That gives it a more stylized look, you know. Okay, so we're going to rotate this one randomly. We're going to rotate this one. We're going to rotate this one. And then we're going to rotate this one. So now we have random spruce trees chilling out. And what you do to make them feel a little bit more intentional is, let's be honest, guys, grass doesn't grow beneath trees, does it? So it actually dies beneath trees. At least that's my experience here on the East Coast of the United States. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and paint in some dirt. All right. So hopefully that works. Maybe let's just make the grass look a little bit patchier, you know. It's not like it has to go completely away. And we'll throw in some tombstones, and we'll go find some on the asset store, because why the hell not? All right, let's hit play here. Oh, my coffee is very cold. All right, let's go. And take a look at these beautiful trees. See how they cull in, guys? It honestly makes it look more like a retro game, and I love it. All right, so we've got some trees. And it looks great, honestly. Feels very intentional. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I feel like I want to create a few more. You know? Let's do that. Let's throw in a few more. Kind of like it makes it look like it's a forest, you know? Spruce 2. And then we'll do one more back here. Okay? All right, save that out. And then what I want to do next is there's actually some bushes that I've been placing in certain places, like over here, okay? First off, these need to cull out, okay? So let's go into the bush prefab, add an LOD group, delete this one, and I love the trick I just learned. It just add it in, and we'll cull it out about right here. Just about like that. Good. So that's bush 2, so we're going to select it. And then because it felt a little empty over in this field here, I'm gonna throw in some red bushes, okay? So let's go ahead and drag in our red bushes and put them at the base of our trees. Whoops. Oh, it's culled out. Yep, there we go. And maybe one more over here. By the way, guys, I'm not sure if this is still true of Breath of the Wild, but I noticed that their trees do not rotate. So they're always at the same orientation. And I found that interesting. Anybody know any idea why? As if you remember, I rotated all of these trees, but I noticed in Breath of the Wild, at least while I was playing it last year, they do not rotate, and I find that very interesting. Okay, so this one actually, it looks weird if there's one at every single tree. So we're gonna kind of, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got some cool bushes here. Let's save that out, and then we're gonna do something a little bit weird here, okay? It may ruin our trees, so we'll move them up a little bit, but I'm gonna actually, let me think here. Yeah, I'm gonna raise it up. Okay? So we're gonna raise this up pretty high. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to do here. How's that look? Yeah, I like this, and let me show you what I'm going to do, guys. Watch this. This is going to be really cool. I feel weird about it being so wide open, to be completely honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make it look, I'll show you. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. It ruins a lot of what I've worked on, but I think I'm going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and set the height to 205, and we're gonna raise it up like this, and so there's gonna be a cliff on this side, okay? But as we get around, you're gonna be able to go up onto the cliff. Oh man, I love my life. Okay, so that's gonna be pretty sweet, and then we're just gonna smooth this height here. There we go. Really smooth it. There we go. So it's gonna feel a lot more, not so open. It's gonna feel special too, to the player when they enter it. See that? They're gonna enter it and be like, ooh. So I think I actually wanna set the height a little bit higher. So let's do, how about 215? Yeah, there we go. So set the height right here, and we'll move the trees up. Don't worry about it. And then we'll smooth it. Yeah, just like this. Yeah, over there too. Okay, just like this, all right? And then we're gonna smooth it out. There we go, smooth out the height, making it go up. See what I did here, guys? Man, it's just so much fun to see things come to life like this. Hey, Santiago, that's awesome. I advise people to live in two realms, Santiago. The first realm is, you could do it. Be a game dev. Follow your dreams. And the other realm is, don't be afraid to fail. And also be wise. Have a budget. Have a schedule. Treat it like a business. Don't do anything crazy. And you can do it. It's a mix. It's a mixture of wisdom and bravery. All right, we're gonna create our little cliff face here, see? So what you could do with this sort of blending here is, what I'm gonna do at least, is we're gonna have very solid rock here. And actually I'm gonna drop down my opacity pretty significantly here and just fade. See that? Just very subtle fade. And I really wanna erase that grass so that this grass right here is really throwing me off. But we're gonna go around the cliff face here, like so. And by the way, some of you are mentioning David Whaley in the chat. David is a really good friend of mine, and David taught me a lot of this stuff that I'm doing because I took his course, Game Dev Unlocked. So you can go ahead and check out that course. I highly recommend his course. It's super, super good. Game Dev Unlocked. For those of you who haven't downloaded my free 2D game kit. There's a link in the description. It's totally free, no gimmicks. You just enter your email, and I will immediately send it to you with my mind. Man, guys, I mean, what did I tell you? This is going to look so cool. You know? And then we have dirt here. So we're going to have dirt right here. Sorry, I need to figure out what time I need to feed my son. Yeah, he's a baby, and so we do something called a dream feed, and we feed him or give him a bottle so he doesn't wake up in the middle of the night, that kind of thing. Anybody else have kids? Okay, that's a little too opaque, to be honest. Okay, good. Pretty cool, I think. That's fine with me. This is yeah, we could probably, yeah, there we go. And then this is a little weird here. Okay, and let's go ahead and remember, guys, we don't want to break our rules here. Always follow the rules that you set for yourself. Be consistent. So we're gonna throw in some moss on the edges. Yeah, he's new. My son, my son is, thinks I should know this. It's been a freaking blur, to be honest with you all. He's like 5 months old. It's been a big blur. He's finally sleeping through the night. Generally. Dude, having kids is so hard, but it's so great at the same time. All right, so we got our moss added, and now we're just gonna go ahead and remove this texture. Hey guys, are you excited about seeing how this is gonna look? Because I am. I can't wait. I love doing the terrain tool and then hitting play, and you just have a totally different world, you know? All right, good, 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 good. Here we go. Keep it up, keep it up. You've got this, Thomas. Keep going, keep going. You've got this, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this. All right. So far, so good. Whoops. Okay, we're gonna do. There we go. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I like to read it sometimes, just sometimes. Okay, guys, this to me feels a whole lot more. I don't know. The other one was a little boring, right? So let's go ahead and jump. Oops. Let's jump in and see how it looks. Are you guys ready? I don't have a PC, Mr. Manamaro. I said that bluntly because people have been asking all night. This isn't a PC. This is a Mac. Yeah, this feels so much better. So it's a pretty cool looking valley. I think it does feel empty, so what I'm going to do is add panels of wood all along the top here. But overall, this looks good. I'm also going to add some grass here. It's a little wide feeling, I'll be honest. It feels a little too wide for me. So I'm going to close it up a little bit. But this is cool right here. I love this. This feels great. And I'm going to move the trees up, obviously. And now, look at this. We have like this this view. This is so cool. So we'll add a fence line here, obviously. Whoa, almost spilled my coffee. So let's go ahead and do what I said here. Certain areas are just a little too wide open. They feel empty, right? So I'm going to go ahead and set the height. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, whoa, buddy. Too big. That's what she said. All right, let's see here. There we go. Yeah, it just felt too wide for me, honestly. And I'll raise up that texture over there. One of the things I really enjoy doing, guys, is actually, I'll show you, creating various levels. What I mean by levels is height levels. So let's see here. Pump that up. Yeah. So what you can do is pump this up just a little bit more. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. So as you can see here, now it's not high enough over here. So what I'm going to do is set it to 220. And then now you can pump it up like this, a little bit more over here. And then maybe do another one that's 230, a layer behind it, you know. So it looks kind of like it's more like a cliff. See? And when you have the pine trees on it and you set the textures properly, it just feels great. Okay, so that looks cool. Obviously, we're going to adjust those textures. Okay, let's go ahead and just quickly fix these textures. And I want to just go ahead and actually just do it right here too, just to keep it nice and clean, okay? I'm going to hit play just to make sure everything looks good before I paint the textures. What is this garbage music? You guys want to know one of my favorite soundtracks is the Little Women soundtrack. I watched that movie. Oh, see, we screwed up here. Me and my wife watched that movie, and I just cried like 3 different times. Okay, so this is great. This feels awesome. So I'm going to obviously fix the textures. That looks kind of cool, actually. I'm going to remove the grass, though. So nice and smooth here. We can climb up. Can I get up over here? I cannot. Okay, and we'll fix the textures, obviously. But this feels a lot better than what it was, okay? Good. Okay, let's go ahead and fix this, obviously. Was it 185? Drop down the opacity. I know I'm going back on, I'm sort of just, what am I trying to say here? Yeah. I usually don't go backwards like this when I'm doing terrain. I usually have it sort of mapped out in my head, but yeah. Okay. So we'll recreate our path here. And obviously we're going to add rocks here and bushes and panels of wood and fence lines. But we want it to feel great. Just the terrain. I get the terrain done first, and then I start adding models. And the trees are a good example as to why I go that way. I added the trees, and I shouldn't have, because now the terrain is pushed up past them. Now, obviously, you can add models to the terrain. I don't like to do it that way. Using the terrain tool, I don't like doing it that way. I don't know why. Actually, I know why. It's just mainly it's because I'm too stupid. All right, guys. Okay, let's add our moss here. See? We're just adding a ton of moss. Hey, don't break the rules, Thomas. This needs to be a cliff face first. See? Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, someone's using a drill outside. Sounds like my dog. Okay. So we're just painting our textures here. And let's just really, let's increase the size here and just go nutso. It's taking too long. Okay, good. And then one over here. Now, there are obviously ways, guys, that you can automate this with height maps. And I think height maps and stuff like that. I like to have control over how everything looks, though. I don't like adding a lot of automation to things. I just want to use Unity's tools out of the box. I don't want to get too complicated. I've been down that road. And I don't like it. You get caught spending way too much time and not making progress on things. So I'm just going to use Unity's tools out of the box. And that's what I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. Oh, this song. Yeah, I'm listening to the song called The Beach on the Little Women soundtrack. It is... Oh, this soundtrack is so good. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. Okay, so we've got our grass here. It looks good. Let's see here. Maybe add a little bit of a solid rock here. Just a faint, subtle solid rock. Two various portions here. Okay, so far so good. And now we're going to add the moss. So remember, the moss is only on the edges, guys. So we're not going to break our rules here. Just like so. And these are more far away, so I'm not too worried about how specific they look. And we'll just sort of fade down. And we'll fix, obviously we'll fix the tree line. And I figured out why things are slow, and I'll tell you why in just a sec. We really don't want, we really don't want that many trees. That is a lot of trees. So I'm going to erase all those and place them again, but in being less grouped together, you know. Let's add some moss here as well. Good. So far so good. This can be a little bit more cleaned up here. Good.
There we go. Yes.
That's a little weird looking, so I'm just gonna I don't know what to do with that. So far so good. Maybe fix that. There we go. And we're almost done. And then we can fix the tree line. But overall, guys, I can't wait to add the wooden planks to things. Maybe add some more grass around the path here. It's just going to really look good. And actually, what I like to do is add moss, because moss is somehow justified in my mind of placing it on the dirt, like directly on it. So what I do is like some moss here. So it's kind of like climbing up the cliff's edge, see? It just kind of feels natural. So I'm just going to throw in some moss here and there, and then maybe some weeds in those areas, okay? So go to our... There we go. Oop, see, that's the problem. We're going to decrease the target strength significantly. There we go. Yeah, we don't want that much strength. That's just too much. Well, maybe we could throw some up here and some up here as well, so you can see it at the edges. That's totally fine. Maybe one here and some right here as well. Yeah, see that, guys? And when you hit play, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. It just adds a little bit more life to that edge. And right now, it doesn't look great, you know? But remember, you're only going to see the looking up at the edge, so we don't need to paint all of this here with the moss. Okay? And why don't we just go ahead and do some of that moss on the floor here as well. So just sort of all over, climbing up the edges here. Just very subtle. Yeah. It's just these subtle details, guys. And what's funny is the brain knows. The brain knows. It goes, and you probably can't even explain it. I can't explain why it works and why it doesn't. It's just like your brain goes, nope, that's not how the world works. So you really have to sort of follow the rules of the world, even if you don't really know what they are. Yeah, so there's some grass there. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and remove these trees. So we're going to go ahead and hold Control, hold Shift and click to erase details. Hold Control and click to erase only details of the selected type. Okay. We're going to hold Control and yeah, we can erase now. Target strength and then just boom. Yeah, there we go. Erase. Yeah, really erase these trees. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, is because the intensity, the amount of trees we've got here is really slowing down the game. And that's the thing, is you don't want a game that's slow when it's supposed to be a retro game. I mean, my goodness, you can't even make a retro game run fast. You got problems. Oopsie. Yeah, there we go. So what I'm going to do is probably making a mistake here, but yeah, there we go. Yep, over here as well. My goodness. See how slow it's getting, guys? It's because there's just so many. There's so many. And that's just stupid of me. I'm an idiot. I told you. I'm a freaking moron. Yeah, they're a lot less sparse over here. And actually, it's what makes it look so good when they're sparse. It makes it look much more retro. Okay, so how are we doing here? Oh, there's some more. And then what about over here? Good. Oh, we got a ton over here as well. Too many. That's just wasted memory right there, you know? Okay. All right, you guys want to add some trees? How are we doing in the chat, by the way? Let's take a look. Thank you, Isaac Smith. Isaac says, hello, Thomas. I was just wondering if, for one of your classes, there was an option to pay for one-on-one sessions for those who need help on a personal level. I wish I could, Isaac. I really do. But that is not an option, and it will not be. Because I care so much about making games, it's really hard for me to say yes to one-on-one coaching. It's a big time investment, so I apologize. I know that's selfish of me to a degree, but that's just me being honest. Have you heard, this is from John Swan, that's a cool name. Have you heard anything about how the new M1 Macs do with Unity? Mac is not great for Unity. It really isn't. So I'll just be honest with you there. It's pretty slow. Okay, let us go ahead. Hey, there's more here. Thank you guys for the super chat. Sorry if I miss super chats often. I'm just focused on the game, but I appreciate them intensely. Immensely, I mean. All right, let's paint trees, but this time, guys, we're going to do a lot less target strength, okay? Yeah, see, that's too much already. So pop it down significantly. Honestly, you just want it to be like 2 trees every world unit. There we go. That's much better. Much, much better, Thomas. Good job. You did great. Thank you. All right, go, 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 go. You're doing great, Thomas. We're almost done with this little section. I'm just having so much fun. I mean, goodness, is this not the funnest thing? You just playing God all day long. I love it so much. There's a little too many trees over here, too. There we go. And, you know, you could just throw a couple back there, but nothing crazy. You just want to be careful. I guess I'm just going back on what I said earlier, which is you don't need to worry about it. Don't worry about it rendering too many. You don't need to worry about the amount, like in terms of distance, because it's going to render to a certain patch and then stop. But you do need to worry about the density of your grass and your trees. All right, let's hit play here and see how everything looks. Yes? Yeah. Let's hit play. Hang on. I'm on daddy duty, so I'm listening for crying babies. I'm not using the URP. I am just, hey, that doesn't look good enough. We need to fix that. All right, so this is sort of going to be, maybe this could be called the Ash Valley or something. Okay, we need to smooth out this. That looks like garbage. Smooth that out. But overall, so far so good. And we'll move those trees up. I'm going to flatten this out to feel more like a path. Yeah, we need to clean up that too. I can see through the trees and I don't want to. So far so good. Yeah, there's a buzzing noise. It's a buzzsaw out my window. There's some teenager in his garage. He likes to work on cars. So I'm going to throw in some trees here because you could kind of see through it. So we're just going to be careful. We want it to feel like a never-ending pine forest, okay? So we're just going to add a ton behind. Again, we don't need to be super dense here, but we do want to make sure that they're filling in any empty gaps, okay? Isn't this awesome? You just paint the trees. So great. I love the terrain editor. So much fun. Yeah, so right here is really sparse. It was a little too sparse. Okay, guys. All right, that looks pretty cool. Maybe let's throw in some trees here. And maybe one here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to jump on down to about right here. We're going to take a look. That's the water. We're going to take a look at this whole issue right here. Okay? So we're going to first off, let's smooth the height. Painting happy little trees. That's right. Okay, so because this is slowly going up, we can't use set height anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do raise or lower terrain, very low opacity. And I'm going to do that, and then, yeah. So we're going to try and make it look more like a path right here. It's just really important to me that things look like paths. I'm not sure why that is. I think it's because games like Morrowind were lazy and they didn't do that. Like classic games like Morrowind, and it just felt so cheap. So I like it to feel like the world is, even if it's a retro game, I want it to feel like it's following the rules of nature, I guess. I can't reveal what the game is about. Actually, I can. Just go wishlist it on Steam, guys, and you will see what the game is about. Okay, so far so good. I don't like that. I'm gonna need to smooth this out. All right. So we're just creating a very subtle path here, and we'll smooth it out. All right. There we go. I don't know how this is gonna look, but we're gonna give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, let's hit play and see how it feels. Yeah, it feels a lot better. Feels like a path now. I like it. Cool. Yeah, this isn't a survival game. This is just going to be a first-person shooter. Very violent, very bloody, very bloody. Retro shooter game. Getting keys, unlocking doors, finding artifacts, that kind of thing. Really basic. And I'm not going to try and be complicated with it. I'm going to be very simplistic with it, to be honest with you guys. Very simplistic. All right, guys, here, let me show you something. This is so much fun. So I love these pillars here. They're just squares. So I'm going to copy it and paste it, and I'm going to bring it on over here. And this, I think I'm going to be very intentional with this section here. I want every path to feel like its own have its own personality. So I want this one to feel really covered, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start laying out these all over the place, okay? Rotating them up and just adding it's almost like a ceiling. Yeah, I think so.